For around 20 years, unique therapy sessions have been held in a river of the Brazilian Amazon. And a worker with the program says while animal-assisted therapy has been around for a while, what's taking place in Brazil is the first treatment of its kind that utilizes dolphins. It's reportedly helped about 400 people. Patients who have cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, people who are autistic, and some who have lost limbs all come here to connect with nature. A big part of that are the pink river dolphins known as boto. That's why this is called phototherapy. Proponents say it's not supposed to be a replacement for conventional treatments, but a way to enhance them with something that brings people joy. The neuropsychologist says the sessions also allow patients to experience situations they wouldn't encounter otherwise. The program is free for them, sponsors cover the expenses, and the goal isn't to treat pathologies, according to a physiotherapist, but to treat human beings. Today's edition of The World from A to Z is brought to you by Fridays. They're awesome! And now we resume our regularly scheduled programming. I'm Carl Azus. Don't sleep on our next subject. New research is out on how adequate sleep improves our immune system, and going without it can cause inflammation throughout our bodies. A study recently published in the Journal of Immunology monitored 237 healthy adults, their diets, exercise levels, and how they slept. It found that people whose body mass index was in the range for obesity had lower quality sleep and higher levels of inflammation than those who weren't obese. But it also found that sleep disruption in anyone contributed to inflammation. What do we mean by that? Pain, swelling, redness, inflammation is how the body responds to an injury or a sickness. If it goes on too long or happens in a healthy part of the body, it can cause problems that don't get resolved. What researchers found in the new study is that inflammation worsened by poor quality sleep is reversible. How? By getting better and enough sleep again. Doing that over time may even help people get to a healthy weight. Experts say keeping inflammation low through good sleep is also important in this raging flu season.
It's been an intense flu season so far. Nationwide, about 27% of tests are coming back positive for the virus, and there's also RSV and COVID-19 to contend with. But getting some good Z's may offer some protection.
Sleep does play a crucial role in supporting and regulating the immune system.
Michelle Drerup with Cleveland Clinic says adequate sleep can actually help the body defend against infection and inflammation. And the key to getting good shut-eye is focusing on sleep hygiene.
So things like making sure you're limiting or avoiding napping during the days and not having caffeine too late or exercising too late. All those things may be important and helpful.
Other ways to promote good sleep: make a habit of going to bed and getting up at the same time every day. Keep your bedroom relaxing, quiet, and at a cool temperature. Turn off electronic devices at least 30 minutes before bed. Avoid large meals and alcohol before bedtime. Drerup says to also only use the bed for sleep and allow time to wind down.
The crux of it for a lot of people is that sleep is a natural process, and we don't want to force it or put a lot of effort into it. That actually makes it harder to fall asleep.
And if you're having persistent sleep problems, Drerup says to see a doctor. There are treatments that can help. I'm Mandy Gaither.
On this date in world history.
February 28, 1953, scientists James Watson and Francis Crick had an announcement to make. They had worked out the double helix structure of deoxyribonucleic acid, aka DNA. The work of two other researchers, Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins, helped in their discovery, and it would change our understanding of human genes. On this date in 1991, a ceasefire ended the Persian Gulf War. The U.S. had led a coalition of dozens of countries to push Iraqi forces out of neighboring Kuwait, which Iraq had invaded the previous year. Remaining tensions between Iraq and the U.S. contributed to another war 12 years later. And this date in 2013 saw the first papal resignation in almost 600 years. Pope Benedict XVI, who'd led the Roman Catholic Church since 2005, said he could no longer carry out his duties at his advanced age. So the 85-year-old Benedict became Pope Emeritus, while Pope Francis took over the role of Pontiff.
Word it out. After English, what is the most widely spoken language in the world? French, Spanish, Hindi, Mandarin Chinese. The language with the second highest number of speakers, more than 1.1 billion of them, is Mandarin Chinese.
A centuries-old secret script is being rediscovered in China, Nushu. These sweeping calligraphy strokes are a writing system invented by women.
These are rhomboid characters, unlike Chinese characters, which are square-shaped and whose strokes have different directions. Nushu characters are directional and move from upper right to lower left.
Nushu was created in a small village in Zhenyang, in the southern Chinese province of Hunan, by women who were barred from formal education. There's little consensus on when it originated. Scholars estimate the script is at least several centuries old, when reading and writing were deemed male-only activities.
You don't allow me to go to school. Okay, I see. What's my way out? I will find ways to educate myself.
Women who lived under the control of either their parents or their husbands used Nushu in secret to record their unhappy marriages and family conflicts. For that reason, Nushu is sometimes called the script of tears.
I think Nushu provided them a channel to express themselves and vent their sorrow and happiness. It also served as a way to listen to each other.
Just as important as learning to write this special calligraphy is passing along the secret of this tradition to the next generation. That's what Zhu Yan does, hosting Nushu workshops at bookstores. And the once secret script can now be found in art and even everyday items like hair clips.
We're spotlighting both Dakotas this Friday, then moving east. Mr. Hartley's class is in the town of Surrey, North Dakota. Great to see the Mustangs at Surrey High School in the Rough Rider State. On its southern border is the Mount Rushmore State. That's where Mr. Jodosi's class is, at our home in the Parkston School District. The Trojans are in Parkston, South Dakota. Making our way to Illinois, we want to recognize Mrs. Hall's class at Reagan Middle School. The Royals are in the city of Dixon in the Prairie State. And from Wakefield, Massachusetts, we see Miss Landry's class at Northeast Metropolitan Regional Vocational High School. It's in the Bay State.
Vets in California had to rescue a 7-month-old Bernese mountain dog from her strange addiction. Luna's family took her to Corona Animal Emergency Center after they noticed she had a bulging stomach. X-rays revealed she had gotten a taste for something she shouldn't have, the family's laundry. During surgery, vets removed a total of 44 items from her stomach, including 24 socks, 2 hair ties, and a baby's onesie. The hospital later said Luna's story is a powerful reminder of the critical role veterinarians play in keeping our furry friends healthy. As for Luna, she's now laid up at home and recovering in her cone of shame.
Unusual uses for cheese. Critics might call that my show. But a carnival tradition on the Italian island of Sicily involves flinging a wheel of pecorino down the sloping street. It's believed to date back to the 1600s when workers were building the village roads, creating the space to do this. The objective is simple. Whoever is able to roll the cheese the farthest on a 1.25 mile long course is declared the winner, and that person gets to bring home the cheese. Would that make them the big cheese, the goat of cheese, the macho manchego whose mozzarella elevated to Gruyere heights that gotta be respected? Or do people make funtina of cheeseheads whose feta is to Asiago home provolone without a wheelie dirty roll they won't ever eat them? One thing's for certain, the loser will be blue. I'm Carl Azuz for the world from A to Cheese. It ain't easy being cheesy, but I always melt at the thought of our Gouda audience. You mean the world to me.